Ayo, what's good, Double Clutch Nation? It's Wygos, and we gotta talk about the games from today because there were some really good performances and some seeding implication changing. And we're gonna start the night off with Nuggets versus Cavs. The Nuggets dominated the Cavs, winning by 29 in a final score of 130 to 101. Nikola Jokic dropped 26 points, 18 rebounds, and 16 assists, and was helped by Caldwell Pope, who gave him 22, 19 from Reggie Jackson, 19 from Michael Porter Jr., and good defense off the bench from Peyton Watson, his commercial buddy. The only player on the Cavs to have 20 points or more was Evan Mobley with 22 and 2 blocks, and he shot 90% from the field. The next game we're going to be talking about is the Heat versus the Wizards. The Heat won 119 to 107 against the Wizards in a not so shocking turn of events. Terry Rozier had 27 for the Heat, 5 threes, and Bam also had 22 and 10, playing really good defense for the Heat. After that, the 76ers beat the Raptors by 15, which is also not too surprising, led by Kelly Oubre Jr., who had 32 points and 7 rebounds with 6 threes. After all of those games, we get into the really juicy stuff, where the Lakers beat the Nets 116 to 104. LeBron, you are my sunshine, Ramon James, had an insane 40-point game with 17 in the fourth, shooting 9 of 10 from 3 and 7 rebounds with 5 assists. He was absolutely dominant, and I don't think I've ever seen LeBron shoot 9 of 10 from 3, and I don't think you have either. But it wasn't only LeBron. AD started off the game really well, getting the Lakers the lead that they never ended up giving up with 24, 14, and 3 blocks. Cam Thomas had a really rough start to the game and wasn't too efficient, but finished with 30 points and 6 assists. The Nets didn't lead the entire game. The Lakers started out 17 to nothing, and they won the first quarter 31 to 11. Both teams put their subs in with only 3 minutes left in the fourth, in which the Lakers needed this win to keep them ahead of the Warriors in the standings. Moving on, we have the Clippers versus the Hornets, in which the Clippers won 130 to 118, and Paul George, Podcast P, had an amazing game with 41 on extreme efficiency and torched the Hornets. He showed Brandon Miller why he is the GOAT once again. Ivica Zubac had 24 and 12 on 87% shooting, and Kawhi had a calm 23. Brandon Miller on the other side hit a nice 3 against his idol Paul George and finished with 22 of his own. Miles Bridges led the Hornets in points with 33 and 7. This game moved the Clippers even further ahead of the Pelicans and Mavericks, securing their 4 seed once again, which if they can keep it up will give them home court advantage in the first round. They're going in the right direction. After the game, Paul George and Brandon Miller swapped jerseys, which is really cool to see. Shout out Podcast P. For the next game, we have Mavericks versus Rockets, in which the Mavericks won 125 to 107 in a Luka masterclass. The Mavericks won the first quarter convincingly, and Luka had 22 first quarter points with 5 threes, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists, and you could tell it was going to be one of those nights. Luckily for the Rockets, Luka was the only person on the Mavericks offense getting it going in the first, while Kyrie started with 2 points and went 1 of 4 from the field. The Mavs won the first quarter by a crazy 36 to 24, and by halftime, Luka had 32 and the Rockets were down 21. And then by the end of the third, Luka Magic had 47, 12, and 6, absolutely killing the Rockets and doing whatever he wanted. I didn't want to say that he deserved MVP, but when he goes out and does this multiple times a season where no one can stop him and they just push through whoever's guarding him, it doesn't matter. He had this one stutter step on the 3-point line where he stepped in and got a scoop shot and it went in, and it shouldn't have went in. It shouldn't be possible, but he makes it possible when he's feeling like this, and I can't tell him he doesn't deserve MVP, because when he does stuff like this, there's no way you can. And guess what? With this win, the Mavericks got the 5th seed from the Pelicans, and if they hold on to that, I don't think there's any debate. I am not a Luka fan, but if he does stuff like this and they're the 5th seed, he deserves MVP. Give it to the man. He finished with 47, 12, and 7 assists with 2 steals, scoring all 47 of his points in the first 3 quarters. Kyrie Irving had 24 and 7, and they were destroying the Rockets so bad, even though the Rockets just came off an 11-game winning streak. On the Rockets side, Jalen Green struggled, only having 12 points on bad efficiency. Jabari Smith Jr. led the team with 28 points and 7 rebounds. Luka also had 9 threes. The Mavericks came out looking to end this 11-game winning streak, and they did. They also took the 5 seed and extended their winning streak to 7. And oh my god, Luka, you need to calm down, man. I'm supposed to tell my friends, nah, he ain't MVP. Nah, Damian Lillard's better. Well, guess what? You make that hard for me right now. Shout out Luka, good game. Most of these games so far have been blowouts, but we finally have a close one with the Spurs versus Warriors, in which the Warriors won 117 to 113 against the Spurs. The Spurs came out hot. Wemby had 2 blocks and Klay came out cold, starting 2 of 7 from the field. Midway through the second quarter, Steph hit a 3 and a long 2 to decrease the Spurs lead 46 to 42, making it only a 4-point game. The Spurs finished the half up 8. The Warriors didn't shoot a single free throw, which thankfully the broadcast let me know is the first time that's happened since 2016. They also didn't have any fast break points. Curry had 12 points, and Vic had 10 points and 5 rebounds with 3 steals and 2 blocks, being very active on the court and forcing the Warriors into multiple turnovers. Cedi Osman for the Spurs also had 15, and Zach Collins had 11 and 7 off the bench. In the first couple minutes of the second half, the Donkey, Draymond Green, had 9 points, a 3 that took the lead for the Warriors, making it 61-60, and later on in the third also had a steal that led to a Gary Payton reverse jam on a fast break. The Warriors won the third quarter by 16 points and ended up leading by 8 going into the fourth. Victor Wembanyama hit a nice top of the key 3 to cut the lead to 8. Then he had a strong drive and one dunk on Trace Jackson Davis for revenge for earlier in the season, which Jackson Davis dunked on him. Cedi Osman hit a corner 3 to cut the lead to 4 with a minute and 22 left. The Spurs then got a steal leading to Wemby free throws, cutting the lead to 2. Draymond got an offensive rebound off a Steph miss and kicked it out to Klay Thompson, who hit a dagger 3 to put Golden State up 5. Golden State then fouls Wemby and he hits both again, cutting the lead to only 3. Brandon Podds then missed a 3-point shot and Draymond drew a foul on Wemby, going for the rebound with 3 seconds left. Draymond was at the line and missed the first, but then hit the second, making it a 2-possession game and winning it for the Warriors. Wemby had 18 fourth quarter points. Stephen Curry finished with 33 points, 8 assists. Draymond had 21, which feels like it never happens anymore. 6 rebounds, 11 assists, and 6 steals. And in my opinion, he won the game for the Warriors with his intensity coming out of the half. Brandon Podds also had some impactful minutes off the bench with 12 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. And for the Spurs, Wemby had 32 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, and 3 blocks. This game meant so much for the Warriors because the Rockets lost, and this puts them convincingly into the 10 seed and will hopefully keep their play-in and playoff hopes alive. In a surprise turn of events, we saw Chicago beat Minnesota 109-101 off of a DeMar DeRozan 27-point game with 8 assists and Alex Caruso hitting 7 threes and having 5 steals, combining for 21 points. Nikola Vucevic also had 19, 8, and 6. Kobe White had 17, and the Bulls as a team shot 58% from 3. Minnesota tried their best to hold on off a 22 and 11 from Anthony Edwards and perfect shooting from Rudy Gobert, putting him at 19 and 10, but the Bulls were just too hot on offense and took the game. This game most likely will send Minnesota to the 3rd seed as they were tightly packed with the Nuggets and OKC. For the next game, it's the Thunder versus the Knicks in an exciting, thrilling matchup that came down to a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander fadeaway for game, in which OKC won 113-112 against the Knicks. J-Dub put up 33, 4, and 8 with 2 steals and 2 blocks on 77% shooting from the field. Chet had a rough game with only 5 points, shooting 25% from the field. Josh Giddey had a triple-double with 16 points, 13 rebounds, and 12 assists, and Shai had 19 on minor offensive struggles, but hit the game-winning shot when it mattered. On the Knicks side, Brunson followed up his 61-point game with 30 points and 7 assists. Miles McBride played 45 minutes and had 19 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals, and Josh Hart also played 45 minutes with 13 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists. Congratulations, OKC, because this win keeps them in front of Denver and Minnesota at the #1 seed in the West. And the Thunder have now clinched a playoff berth officially. The last game of the night was another blowout between Sacramento and Utah, in which Sacramento came up with an expected win, 127-106. De'Aaron Fox led the way with 24 points, 6 rebounds, 12 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks, but Keegan Murray led the team in points with 25, also hitting 5 threes. Harrison Barnes contributed 24, Domantas Sabonis had 17, 11, and 6, and on Utah's side of the ball, Colin Sexton had 22 points, and so did Bryce Sensabaugh, who also had 2 steals to go along with them. This has been a really nice video to make. Give this video a like, subscribe. If you made it this far, comment Luka Magic, and I hope everyone has a good night. Enjoy basketball. Mwah.